Alright, welcome to Tribulation 515, 2011. Today is March 7th, 2012. It's Wednesday. Here in San Jose, the sun is just blazingly brilliant. The sky is an amazing shade of blue. And a cold northern wind has been blowing for the last 2 days. You know, in the news today on Fox, I think it was pretty much on MSNBC, it's on the internet, but there was a huge coronal mass ejection. I think the sunspot was 1429. I may be wrong on that, but either way, it's supposed to hit tonight, probably around 9, 10 o'clock this evening here, West Coast time. They're saying the northern lights, the aurora borealis, be able to see those, but I don't think they were saying here in San Jose, you know, maybe in Canada or the northern states. But, you know, cell phones, satellite, you know, electronic equipment, you know, might, you know, malfunction or something. But once again, it's just a continuation of what's been going on for quite a while. The sun's activity is, you know, on the rise. The 12th, March 12th, and I think even the 13th, brings us this alignment of Jupiter and Venus. I don't think they're going to be exactly right on top of one another, but they'll be pretty close to each other in the sky. But there's, you know, on astrological terms, Pluto and Saturn and all that stuff, you know, like it could either be a very positive sign or it could be kind of a negative sign. But what I'm going to tell you is, you know, the world, everybody's watching. You know, everybody knows what's going on, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew. Unless you got your head in the sand and you're clueless, or you just live in a bubble. And you know what? There are millions and millions and millions of us that are either clueless or living in a bubble. Especially if your life's going good. You know, doesn't matter. You know, bad stuff is just something you flip through on the TV. It's like, oh yeah, there's the starving kids in Africa, change the channel. You know, there's the flood victims in the Philippines, change the channel. You know, it's like, oh yeah, bad stuff happens all the time. But truth be told, things are escalating. 2012. And, you know, all this war talk. You know, Obama can sit there and, you know, and tell us, you know, he tells a lot of people what they want to hear, but I don't believe anything he says, you know. But, you know, when he's saying there's all sorts of times to deal with, you know, what's going on in the Middle East and Iran, you know what? No, there's not. Because everybody's looking at these signs, and everybody's feeling like the time is here, you know. So whether it's sinister forces aligning together or the vast majority of people getting swept up in, you know, a push for whatever, you know, freedom, just for food, you know, who knows. But all of that is in the works and going to be happening. So this, you know, the threat of war is real. You know, some people are going to blame Israel. I think I'm rationally blaming the sinister forces that are controlling the radical Islamic movement, and that's the leaders of Iran or dictators like Assad in Syria. But, you know, the corruption, there's no system. You know, everybody, it's the blame thing. Obama's been blaming, but, you know, now the whole world blames anything. And, you know, you can't even point out anything. You can't say, like, hey, Iran has evil, corrupt leaders, because then, you know, people from Iran, if you're watching this video, you're going to say, you know what, but look at your country. You got evil people, and Obama's evil. Well, no shit, yeah. You know, what does that have to do with anything? You know, other than the fact that your leader's got to go, and we're working really hard at voting out Obama. But you know, I will give you this, that I don't really believe. I think all the systems are rigged. You know, like voting in Iran is as worthless as voting in Russia, as worthless as voting here in America. You know, the GOP, the Republican Party, they already want to crown Mitt Romney, who has loser written all over him. You know, he's Bob Dole and McCain rolled all into one, and the election is as rigged as I've ever seen it. The one guy I kind of vouch for, and he's got issues too, is Newt Gingrich. But I don't think he stands a chance of getting elected. But the world continues to spiral down into chaos. Gas prices are still inching higher. The stock market gained a little bit back, but I'm telling you, anybody that's smart's going to get the hell out of the stock market quick. The world economy is still in an unsustainable mode. I wrote a blog, whatever it was, 8 months ago, beginning of last summer, talking about the next financial crisis, which is the college student loan program, where Obama has been just giving anybody and anybody money to go to college, but that's a corrupt system as there's ever has been. Obama, he grew up and his whole community organizing background is all in the educational system, and the educational system is a bunch of Kool-Aid drinkers. It's the liberal establishment. They control the colleges and the exorbitant fees and making you pay thousands of dollars for worthless classes that have nothing to do with anything. And you know what? There is no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. When you get out of college and you owe $50, $100, $200, $300,000, there's still no jobs for you. But that's the next crisis. The home loan thing hasn't been solved. It's still a mess in progress. But they say that I heard the report, like 30% of student loans are delinquent. Because how the hell can anybody pay back a student loan? The world's is falling into debt. Nothing's been solved. The economic collapse is still on the way. I'll make a prediction. Like probably either early summer or early fall. Could be sooner. War could bring something about. More war may prevent the economic collapse, because if the world gets into war, that's kind of like its own stimulus program. All right, well, I'm just sitting tight. March 12th is coming up, the spring equinox. Looking for a job, working on some ideas, trying to stay positive. But there's a lot of us out there, that are hanging on by our fingernails, by the skin of our teeth, paycheck to paycheck. And more and more the people around me are having problems. It's getting harder. We're almost at 300 days in since I started this Tribulation blog. All right, well, think positive. There will be a brighter day. I know that. There's still a big hurdle that we're all going to face. Prepared.